Opinions and ideas expressed in the following Moraine Valley Broadcast Channel recording are those of its creators and do not represent the views of Moraine Valley Community College.
Hi, This Made Me Laugh, episode 29, featuring Jacob with Tenacious D.
Abe with That 70s Show.
And Ella with That's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
So my movie was Tenacious D, which first time I watched about the first 20 minutes, and I thought I was losing brain cells because it was so stupid. But as you keep going, it just gets funnier and funnier and funnier. And if it means anything, it's a Jack Black movie, which kind of explains a lot. What do you guys think of it?
I think it was a little slow at the start, but it was pretty funny by the end. Like all the movie references and things. Like in the beginning when he got robbed by the Clockwork Orange dudes.
Yeah,
and it was hilarious.
I thought one of my favorite scenes was the opening with when he was a kid with his dad and they were arguing, and then he started talking to the poster.
Oh yeah,
that was funny.
I was kind of scared by it. Like, it was very intense. It was very funny, but it was very intense at the same time. Like, I had to watch it, I had to stop it and then rewatch it again. And then the second time, I got it better. But, certain scenes, when they were, it's, like you said, it's a Jack Black movie, but when they were singing, they were just so rough and intense, and they started singing with the devil, and I actually got scared. I don't know why.
I think that's one of the best parts about it is they think they're so good, and they're completely trash throughout the movie until the very end, and all they're doing is trying to fight over the pick, and they finally get it, and then they fight over who gets to use it, and they break it, so neither one of them gets it.
I did like the name of it though. I thought the name of it was clever, how one of them had the birthmark Tanae and then the other one had Shdi. I thought that was do you know what tenacious means?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I don't know. My friend told me about the movie and I said I'd never seen it. He's like, "Oh, you have to watch it." And so I watched it, and at first I'm like, well, what the hell am I watching? And as it went on and on, I'm like, it became so funny. And yeah, you have to watch it a few times to understand it. But yeah, I thought it was just hilarious.
I think the funniest part is when he's trying to get the pick in the museum and he's stuck in the lasers, and the only way to reach the button was to force himself to to get a boner and touch the button with his penis. He was forcing himself so hard to try to do it. It was hilarious.
I think my favorite scene was the ending when they were facing off against the devil. Just that song.
See,
that song is hilarious. That song was so funny.
Me.
And then at one point they were arguing with each other. KG and Javels were yelling at each other, getting mad at each other because Javels put KG on the line, and so they had to fight for his life then.
He offered to make him Satan's sex slave.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And as I said, my show was That 70s Show. I came across it when I was a kid, watching it on Fox once, and I didn't really like it. But then I watched it on Netflix, and I realized it was so funny. I was like, why didn't I like it when I was a kid? With the episode that I picked, Eric's panties, it was hilarious because, the whole time, Donna just thinks that Eric just is cheating on him. And then I think the funniest part of the episode is at the end when Kelso and Fez, they think that Bob's wife comes over and says these panties are mine because she had sex with Bob in the car for some reason.
Eric.
Yeah. And Kelso and Fez were like, "Eric, you are a god." He was just
they bowed down and were praising him over it.
Those two episodes that you suggested, I've watched That 70s Show, but I laughed so hard. It's been so long since I watched it. I laughed so hard at those two episodes. I had to rewatch it. I literally was just watching it before I came here. But the two that you picked were really good. I think personally like Kelso and Fez make that show though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those episodes.
I think
even.
Fez mostly. I love Fez.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because
He's like
Kelso and Fez have that like bromance.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
And he's like awkwardly shy, but he just can destroy someone's life if he wants to. No, I used to watch that show when I was a little kid, and my parents didn't want me watching it, so I'd watch it when no one was around. And so I knew I had seen those episodes, but it had been years. And rewatching those just made me love that show so much more again.
And then you also picked the one where Fez was deported, right?
Yeah.
They
And
climbed the water
Almost.
tower.
the whole episode, Hyde and Kelso were just fighting over Jackie. And when Kelso was making the song, he was just dissing Hyde so much at the campfire. It was hilarious.
They had both made the pact to never go back, and then Jackie showed a sign of maybe wanting to get back together, and they both threw the pack out, and they both went right back to trying to fight over her.
What I'm mad about is that they did break up and they didn't get back together. I thought they were perfect for each other. Hyde and Jackie.
Yeah.
That was my favorite. Like those episodes. Should I go? Okay. I had Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I came across it actually during my prom weekend, like in the morning, and I don't think I have ever laughed as hard in my life. I came across the episode where Frank's trying to do coke with the frat guys, and it just never fails to make me laugh. And a little bit of the background that also I think is funny itself is the three writers are the three main actors in it, Dennis, Mac, and Charlie. And Charlie plays like the super, super dumb guy, but in real life he graduated from Merrimack College, majoring in art history. And the two episodes that I picked was one of them. What one did I pick? I totally forgot.
The Christmas
okay,
one.
Okay. I picked where Charlie goes to meet Santa. That was the first one, and I think that is like by far the funniest episode of Always Sunny. He goes to meet Santa, and I mean, there's more to the episode, but this is my favorite part. He goes to meet Santa, and he sits on Santa's lap, and he's like this 30-year-old man, so Santa thinks he's retarded, or mentally challenged, I'm sorry. And he sits on him, and he's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" And Charlie's like, "Did you fuck my mom?" And he's like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Did you fuck my mom? Did you fuck my fucking mom?" And like goes insane on him and starts biting his neck, and like there's little girls screaming everywhere, and it was just like totally chaotic, and that was my favorite part of the episode.
I just love how they both thought that they had normal Christmases growing up, with the one that every Christmas they would go to the neighbor's house and they'd all get presents from the neighbor's house, and all the neighbors would go to his house and get the presents. That's
They'd
why
all
he never had
steal.
presents at home.
The recording, like they woke up the family and they're like grab the presents and go, and they're like basically stealing from.
And then the other guy's like, "What was that?" It's like, "Oh, that was the other family." And he's like, "Were you stealing from them?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do and then that's why I came home to no presents every year, because my neighbors came and took my presents." And so he thought that he had an insane childhood, and then they went to, what was it, Charlie's?
Charlie.
They went to Charlie's, and then he told him his story about his childhood, and that there would be many Santas that would come and make his mom happy every Christmas.
It turned out his mother was a prostitute.
And so he thought his Christmas was normal, but his was not at all. And that's when
why
he
got so mad.
that's why he got mad at Santa.
I think it was pretty funny how Frank like messed with them, Dennis and D.
Yeah.
By the Lamborghini.
He bought the thing that they most wanted in life.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. And when he got injured, and like he had the Christmas story like thing, and it was so gory. It was just hilarious. Like he's saying, you basically get tortured if you don't change. You changed.
I was still really confused that after he had the whole accident and everything, he gave the keys to the Lamborghini to Dennis. Right, Dennis?
Yeah.
And he walked out and I was expecting the Lamborghini to be like totaled because he got in an accident. That's why he was in the hospital.
Yeah.
And it was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And he gave the bag to D, and he had like chocolate and cheese curls in it and everything, and the bag was perfectly fine.
I think he said he was going to pay for the dry cleaning.
Yeah. But like the biggest thing for me was the Lamborghini was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
He jumped out of the Lamborghini and let it slide. There's no way that would be perfect.
I think that was part of the humor of it too.
Yeah.
What I also found like funny was that, like, going back to Charlie's mom and like Santa Claus is like that one song, like, I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like supposed to be like your dad who's with, or your mom who's with your dad, aka Santa Claus, but it's like really Charlie's mom just whoring around, and Charlie's mom seems to be like this innocent woman, and then when you get to like know her more, like,
turns out she's just a straight up whore.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny that every Santa would come and give him a little present, and like some of them were like didn't make any sense, and he was like, yeah, some of them are a little different, but there were still a lot of presents, and he was like perfectly happy with all the presents, even though some of them were totally ridiculous.
The other episode was hilarious, the board game one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chardy
McDennis. I picked that one because, okay, so when I think of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I think of these like these four, well, plus Frank, like narcissistic assholes that are like, they are literally like the worst people like ever. Like, they're so immature, they are so like unmoral, but like they make it funny. But so the whole game scheme of it is like, it
ridiculous.
shows it's absolutely like ridiculous. So it shows like how immature they are, like how smashing like their dolls at the end of the game, like how, and that makes them like that satisfied to like win, and then like how they're 30 years old
And they're all cheating.
and they're all cheating, like they're all trying to cheat.
And they had the Charlie had never won a game in his life.
Yeah,
And
Charlie and Mac.
Yeah, Charlie. They turned out that Dennis and D,
They always cheat.
they cheated every single game, and they never drank. They never had alcohol.
They never had alcohol.
So they
just
were
drank
never
water.
drunk. That's why they never lost. And it was only because the father. What's the father?
Frank.
Frank was in the dog cage.
I think,
And they
Frank's
threw beer on him, and it didn't taste like beer. So he played the rules, and
But just like the rules of that game is just like, it doesn't, obviously, like, it's not supposed to make sense to you, but I've like tried to grasp it like a million times, and I can't even begin to, because it's just, I don't know. Well, obviously because they made up the game, but I would like to play.
I'm kind of surprised at all the rules that they were able to make. I don't think I would be able to make a game like that. That I would like to play that. And I liked how they have to nail down the board too, because they know that Mac will flip the board every time, no matter what, and he will always forget. And sure enough, he's trying to rip it off the table, and it's stuck there.
He still tries.
Yeah, he still tries. He knows that it is, and but he forgets. But then he starts ripping it, and it's obviously not moving. But he just keeps trying. He doesn't want to give up.
Well, that's what I also like about it, is that like the three main characters are the writers, but like they happen to be like so creative with the show, like with the writing and with like the acting out of it.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
And I have tried watching that show before, and I couldn't get into it. And I watched those 2 episodes, and I don't know if I'll be able to get into it now, just because those ones were so good that I don't know if I'll be able to watch the other ones that aren't as good and still enjoy the show as much as I did watching those 2.
The show, it's like, the humor is like gruesome. Like,
Yeah.
I watch it when it goes on Netflix, so like
All unrated.
yeah. And the last episode I saw is that they go on this ship, and like they all like represent the 7 sins, like the 7 deadly sins, and then so they're all like locked up, and then at the end of it, they're like the boat is sinking, and they're like tipped on its side, and the water is like filling up, and at the end of it, like they have like inches of air to breathe, and so they all go down and they all start praying together, like hoping they get into heaven, and like they all like made peace with each other, and then all of a sudden the door opens and they're all like punching each other, like kicking each other in the head to like try to get ahead of each other.
I think Frank is the funniest part of that show, just because like
He's such an asshole.
he's such an asshole. And the funny part is before like he got with the gang, he was actually like an okay person.
Yeah. No, yeah, and they all thought when he was in the hospital that he was a changed man. No one called, no one believed him. They all walked out. They all wished he died. They were all mad. And then they came back to the bar after they had given up on Christmas and the whole bar was decorated.
So
And then I think the biggest plot twist was his old business partner who ended up pulling a gun and taking the Lamborghini and everything.
He's like, I'm a Christian, but now I'm changing. Okay, so which one do you guys think you like the most?
I think I liked Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, me too. Sunny in Philadelphia.
I loved that. Was hilarious.
I'm gonna can I pick my own show?
I
No.
mean, yeah, I guess you can.
If it was your favorite.
Well, obviously, like Always Sunny, like I watch it every day, but I also do watch That 70s Show every day. But the thing I liked about Tenacious D is that like I've never seen it before. Like when we were like suggesting like what movies and what TV shows, like you said, what'd you say? Grown Ups, and I was like, well, I've seen That 70s Show and like I've seen Grown Ups before. Like I was kind of like upset, like I'm not gonna see something new, and then I saw that, and like I'm gonna watch it 2 times. So, like it's funny, but
Yeah. I think generally our group was like great, like for the suggestions, because like Tenacious D, That 70s Show, and one more so Always Sunny and Tenacious D. It's just like crude humor, and to me that's like the funniest humor, like just crude
when
assholes.
it's like crossing the line.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
So far.
I liked how Tenacious D was kind of like a musical at the same time, but it was like a messed up musical.
Yeah.
Like not good at all, but like at the same time you like it.
Mm-hmm. It was so bad it was good.
I think
That's
that's
what it
like
was.
why we all picked the shows we picked, is because like it just like goes way over the line. Like
Yeah.
that's what I love about Always Sunny, is like they always go over the line in every single episode.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all the time we have for episode 29 of This Made Me Laugh with Jacob,
Ella.
And it